Since 2020, which was the first season without Tom Brady, the Patriots have a record of 24-24, which is below average in the NFL. Sounds like it's exactly average, but we say below average. Defense, no surprise, is not the issue, as they have the second best scoring defense in the league, but offense is where they've been stuck in the mud. They ranked 22nd in both points and yards while using 4 different quarterbacks over that span. So, Minko, you're telling me they're not getting in, which, you know, would be the second year in a row, right, that they didn't get in, and or second out of three since Brady left. What does that mean, like, for the future? How bad would it have to get in New England for someone different to be coaching the team?
I mean, I don't see that happening. I don't see Bill moving on by someone else's terms, saying, hey, you are going to not be here as the head coach. I don't see that happening. I do see this offseason having to be a very big moves as far as, like, what moves are they going to make offensively? Are they going to have a new coordinator? What about the personnel? Looks like they could use a number 1 receiver. Offensive line needs some help. So there are a lot of aspects of this team that they're going to have to figure out, what do we do to make this team better? And I do not think that Bill Belichick, not as the head coach, makes this team better at all. So Bill, if he decides to coach for 5 more years, he's going to be the head coach in New England. I do not see them making a change with Bill Belichick. Again, I see other things that have to be addressed: offensive coordinator, offensive line, protecting your young quarterback, and making a decision, is that our guy as the young quarterback in Mac Jones?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Nico. If Bill Belichick wants to coach next year, he's going to coach next year in New England. I think it's far more likely that they move on from the quarterback than the organization move on from Bill Belichick.
That's interesting.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, if you look at Mac Jones, he hadn't played great this season. And usually by the end of year 2, teams know whether or not they have a franchise quarterback. Mac Jones is 32nd out of 33 qualified quarterbacks in QBR. So that means he's behind Zach Wilson and Davis Mills and just in front of Baker Mayfield. That's not exactly the territory you want to be in. And then when you look at the potential options that you're going to have in the offseason, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, some of those seem to make a little sense. This is a team that's ready to win now. This defense is elite. They're second in defensive efficiency. They're second in sacks. They're tops in scores on the defensive side of the ball. They got 6 touchdowns on defense this year. This is a team that's ready to win. They're a quarterback away from being able to be a contender. So that's what they have to look at, and I think those are some of the decisions that Bill Belichick and that staff are going to have to make. That
group of quarterbacks you're talking about, QBR, I was trying to think, like, what's the opposite of Mount Rushmore? Like that 4 guys, whatever that is. RC, is Mac Jones the long-term answer for the Patriots at quarterback?
You know what? When you watch his play this year, it's an absolute no. And I think we have to start being weary when conversations start with, this guy has the highest floor. Because when we're saying that, we're also saying that this guy has an extremely low ceiling, which I think we all believed when Mac Jones came into this league. But let's talk about Bill Belichick a little bit. I hate to go backwards, but this is part of Bill Belichick's fault as well. Bill Belichick gave Matt Patricia and Joe Judge the keys to the offense. Bill Belichick said that was going to be enough for Mac Jones to take the next step, which is, for all intents and purposes, Mac Jones was a very good rookie quarterback. Mac Jones was a guy that did the second worst gritty we've ever seen of all time in the Pro Bowl game. So let's not act like Mac Jones doesn't have some requisite skill to be a starter in this league. He was failed by the organization. And so when we say the offensive line needs to be better, absolutely. The running backs need to be better, absolutely. The skill players need to be better. The quarterback needs to be better. So does the head coach. The head coach who goes out and picks the linemen and picks the receivers and picks the quarterbacks and picks the running backs. More importantly, he picked the coaches. And so now we have to start getting back to, he had Tom Brady for 2 decades. How much did he deal with offense? You had Josh McDaniels. How much did Bill Belichick deal with offense? He's run this offense into the ground. And by running it into the ground, we now have to question if Mac Jones is even the quarterback for the future. And so now you put yourself in position for another transition after Tom Brady, and that is not good. This team is a descending team under Bill Belichick, and he may not walk away and he may not get fired, but eventually we're going to have to start questioning, is it time for one of those decisions to be made?
David Pollack, we've got about 20 seconds. Well, you saw Mac Jones' whole college career. What do you think of what's going on with him in the NFL?
Thank you, RC. That 10 seconds I get to. No, listen, I think when you're shopping for the groceries and you've done such a poor job as Bill Belichick does, maybe they hire a GM for goodness sakes. Not only do they need an OC, they need to make some staff changes, but somebody needs to draft a little bit better. You talk about receivers, you talk about line, all these things, they fall at Bill Belichick's feet. That's his job.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.